In the heart of Warsaw, where fortunes rise and fall with a shuffle of a deck, the last ever Gwent Masters tournament was about to unfold. The air was thick with excitement, and spectators around the globe tuned in online, all eager to witness the climax of a legendary era. At the finals table, two seasoned Gwent Masters had battled through an intense bracket of would-be world champions to earn their place in history. But one player stood out among them, a strategic genius whose every move seemed calculated, precise, and unpredictable.
Has an iconic ending.
Japan's very own Miyamon excelled through the event's group stage and straight into the $40,000 event's playoff bracket, destined for greatness as he eliminated familiar names.
Something. Paya playing the Great Oak, not being able to remove that spender, self-poison here, and Miyamon.
Oh my word!
Takes it.
Rising to challenge Miyamon for the world title, Ukrainian contender Sanvanta made waves of his own, defeating past Gwent champion Magpie in a 3-1 semi-final performance.
Getting rid of the card.
Entering Game 1 with his inspired Zeal Northern Realms deck, Miyamon lost out in the first round, but struck back hard in the second, with Mata Hauri assisting in draw.
Honestly, Mata is an interesting...
5 points into your roll guard into a 10.
The score was near even in the final moments of Game 1. Reinforced Ballistas, Ananaja, and Illyrian Arbalest continuously sapped away points from Sanvanta through their order mechanic almost uncontested, leading to his demise.
And the inspired Zeal charge finishing Miyamon's turn. He's up 18 points. This bricked Frenzy Dao is not going to be enough for Sanvanta. Miyamon takes game number 1. In a game...
It was a victory short-lived, as Sanvanta opened up a world of pain with his Arrakis Swarm Monsters deck.
Because there's still the scare of...
With a board full of critters in the second round, a 25-point Vran Warrior and a 27-point Andraga Queen boosted the Ukrainian to his first victory, tying the score. Nilfgaard's Tucson Hospitality deck came out to play in the third for Miyamon. Battling for survival in the final round, his illusionist spawned a pyrotechnician from his opponent's graveyard, causing the exact amount of damage to end the conflict at 44 points each. Unfortunately, in the rematch, it was Sanvanta who secured the narrow lead. Shiro eliminated much of the board, while an Oniromancy found Dennis Cranmer to boost adjacent minions, locking in his 41-point lead.
Is more value. So this is how Sanvanta finishes up the game this time around, and it is a 40-point lead. Miyamon Pass is not doable with Vigo.
No, it is not. And
facing elimination, Miyamon had to step things up in the following match. This time around, his off-the-books Syndicate deck would cash in on its own value. Safely securing the second round, Miyamon began his final takeover with an iconic Conjurer's Candle, ready to boost the value of his minions. With a solid lead set in stone, an Oxenfurt Guard further cemented Miyamon's lead. Open Sesame worked its magic from the grave, filling the Japanese player's pocket to an inevitable win.
Another card, and Sanvanta, no, wow, okay, this could be.
Hearts were pounding, leading into the fifth and final game of the 2023 Gwent World Masters. A showdown of Savanta's Pincer Maneuver Northern Realms deck versus the return of Miyamon's Tusantos Hospitality Nilfgaard deck.
To find a win.
With the crew.
The first round was fought and claimed by the Ukrainian. A 12-point Ardfien light cavalry chipped away at Miyamon's side of the board all round long, paying off for Sanvanta big time.
Their Ballista also not going anywhere. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Miyamon to catch up, and there comes the pass from Miyamon. Siri does have carryover into round 2, but losing losing round control over priestesses is quite scary for Miamon. Mill potential that it would have.
Rolling Siri into the next round, her growing value through 2 Buhurt cards was enough to gain a substantial lead.
He needs 21 points.
A borrowed reinforced ballista kept numbers down, leading into the final round of the tournament.
There, Miamon taking the pass as well, and we are off into round 3. Shin-Marie, we are getting very close to the end of the series.
And it's also going to give a shield to the...
With 2 priestesses in hand to seal his fate, Sanvanta was sure that the last Gwent Masters title was his. When juggled between play and deck, these cards can continue to boost the value of allies around them, making them dangerous in the late game.
Actually, no. That was like...
It was this next sequence of plays that threw everything out of control. Miamon's illusionist pulled a Puppet Master into play, which in turn claimed Sanvanta's 11-valued Griffin Witcher mentor for his own.
Master of Puppets, here comes the last joint. The point gap is huge, and this priestess coming down with 7 charges and Renfrey leader left.
Renfrey leader left with the pings. It's not gonna be enough. Miamon is your world.
With 21 points the difference, Miamon became a Gwent World Masters champion, a card slinger like no other, and the last of his title to grace the gaming world.
Even a tie, we went...
The last ever Gwent World Masters tournament had reached its conclusion. But the legacy of the champions, the game's developers, and the personalities behind the live broadcasts would endure. A tale told at minor Gwent Esports events for generations to come.
Yeah, hopefully this is not a final goodbye for everything Gwent the Witcher card game. Gwentfinity is in full swing. Hopefully we know that Lionheart and Arya, for example, plan to have their own tournaments coming in next year.
Yes.
And I also know other communities will be doing that, so stay tuned for that. And if we can be part of it somehow, like me and Ryan, we for sure will, because we don't plan on forgetting about Gwent. Because like we said in the beginning, Gwent has really given us a lot.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the amazing esport content from around the gaming globe. Only on Unbeaten Esports.